Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. It's day 19 in our advent calendar and it's Sunday, so we're of course talking about Dexter New Blood, and we're going to be talking about some theories, predictions, and I'm also going to be sharing some pictures from episode 8, Unfair Game, and from episode 9, The Family Business. So before we get started, I really wanted to quickly shout out two of the commenters from last week because they absolutely nailed it with their comments, and that was Patrick, who left a comment talking about the fact that he was predicting there were going to be titanium screws found from Matt's injury. And then AMP also left a comment talking about the fact that the guy who was checking out of the hotel as Matt actually worked for Kurt. So those were two awesome predictions, comments, and I will always give everybody a shout out who nails it just like these guys. But also I love shouting out really interesting theories as well, even if they don't come true. So make sure you leave all your thoughts, theories, and predictions down in the comment section, and make sure you're subscribed and like the video while you're down there. So I wanted to start off by talking about Molly and Angela, and I know a lot of people have been saying that it doesn't seem as though Molly's in the rest of the episodes, but I think that she's going to be in at least some of them, because although IMDb is reliable a lot of the time, sometimes with specifically Showtime's shows later on in the season, when it's a revival show, they are trying to hide like people guest starring. So although that isn't the case with Molly, they do sometimes get lumped into that, and they won't be sharing the whole guest star list, so that affects other people. And I've seen this happen on the L Word tons of times, that I follow all the filming for that really closely, and it's the same situation here with Dexter. There was other characters that they said weren't in, and then you would see the IMDb changing a couple of times throughout the season, but Molly wasn't listed for the episode that aired today, and we know she was in it, so it's just a little IMDb issue. And I think that she'll be in at least some of them. So I think Molly and Angela now will be starting to work together.
Yeah, his excuse about checking out the cabin was weak. He followed you there. That's creepy. He overheard you and Kurt talking about Matt.
And it's really about Angela making that disclosure about Jim being Dexter, because as I've said before, I think that maybe Molly does know this stuff about Dexter, but she just hasn't connected the fact that Jim and Dexter are the same person, obviously, because we know Molly definitely is aware of Miami Metro people by name, and she's talked about the Bay Harbor Butcher, the Ice Truck Killer, and Trinity. And with Trinity being such a big case, and she also, talked about Rita's death, and she had the pictures and stuff, she will have at some stage known who Dexter was. So we see Molly and Angela going after this dealer from the previous episodes, and he talked about how Dexter injected him with M99.
I'm here to ask you about the guy who did that to your face.
So this may also twig something for Molly, but I think that we're maybe getting into a situation that was a bit of a LaGuardia situation, where she was putting all this together and working on this, but she wasn't disclosing it to anyone. But because Angela and Dexter are dating, and we actually see in episode 9 that they are spending what looks like Christmas together, like they're exchanging gifts, and I think that Angela may be kind of wrestling with herself in this episode, because she obviously is looking into Dexter, and Molly and her are putting all these things together, and she's also spending this time with him, and it looks like they're having dinner and everything's going better than it was anyway. And Angela will definitely be wrestling with her feelings. So I think that we're going to see this kind of lead up to the finale of Angela and Molly putting pieces together, and Angela is really going to be caught in the middle of her feelings for Jim and then the whole Harrison side of it as well, because she knows obviously that Harrison's mum and stepmom have died. And I really think that once Angela discloses to Molly that Jim is Dexter, and I wouldn't be surprised if that was one of the scenes that one of the episodes ends on. And to move into some other thoughts, to talk specifically about Dexter and Harrison, I think that we're going to see Dexter in episode 9, titled The Family Business, disclosing a lot, maybe even the truth to Harrison. And in some of the pictures, it looks as though Dexter is in some sort of shipping container. So I don't know, did he hold on to anything from his past? If so, a shipping container would be a very apt place to store it, as we know. I would be really interested to see an episode where Dexter is literally showing Harrison things from the past and pictures and talking about Rita and maybe even Deb and Aster and Cody and all these people. So I am thinking maybe that's going to happen in episode 9, but we'll see. One other thing I forgot to mention that kind of supports this Dexter telling Harrison the truth, or some of the truth, is that if you go back to the original trailer for Dexter New Blood, there is a little scene of Dexter and Harrison at the incinerator. So wonder what that's about. So episode 8, I think Molly and Angela are going to be figuring out a lot. I think that the real thing to disclose is Angela to Molly about Jim being Dexter. We also saw in this episode that Molly and Angela, they were doing a lot of things to kind of strengthen their relationship so that it makes sense that Angela discloses this. And speaking of disclosure, I think that we'll see Dexter revealing the truth to Harrison in episode 9. How much of that truth he shares, is murky, but I am leaning more to the side of he will be pretty truthful. And episode 10, how is it all going to end? We've heard the writers and everyone talk about the finale is going to break the internet, and they want to hype up their own show, but this season has been phenomenal, and I really don't believe they would have brought the show back if they didn't have a great ending. I know that they basically started writing the show with the ending first, and then they went back and wrote everything else. So I want to believe that they have this amazing ending, and I really don't think that it's going to be the case where Harrison takes over the mantle. I just can't see that. And there hasn't really been a lot of discussion about whether they can do a second season. Like, I know we've all discussed it, but they have pretty adamantly been like, no, this is one season. Obviously, there's a lot of things they could do, focus on other characters, and they could even have Michael C. Hall return because, the actor who played Harry was on the entire show as a series regular and was dead. So there's things they can do. But I really think this ending, it obviously has to be something huge. And because they've talked forever about the original ending that Clive Phillips would have done if he hadn't left the show in season 4, he said, that would be Dexter being executed. So I don't think he's going to be arrested or executed or anything like that. They obviously can't have him leave and dip again like the original. So I think it's a case of like Dexter has to die. And I know there's some people saying maybe he takes his own life, but that's totally out of character for him. I don't see that at all. I think there's the case of there may be some sort of sacrifice there, like sacrificing for his son, who Dexter always thought that he couldn't love and couldn't have these relationships. But obviously that's proven different with his son. I still think there has to be some big, enormous twist for them to talk about things this way. And I mean, the best seasons of Dexter, there was some epic, twists like this, whether it's Trinity killing Rita or Deb killing LaGuardia. Even, that season wasn't amazing, but Deb finding Dexter killing Travis Marshall. There's so many Dexter like jaw-dropping moments, and I really feel as though the finale has to be like that. So it's just a matter of how they set it up, and if Dexter dies himself, I'm sure there'll be some twist to who does it or how it happens. So I know that those were very like general, but I just wanted to get some thoughts out there, especially about the Molly and Angela stuff, and then Dexter revealing everything to Harrison. I'm still not convinced he's going to go there with everything, but I think disclosing about the family and Miami Metro and Deb and Harry and what things were like, and maybe leaving out the murder stuff, might be a good thing for Harrison to get more of where he came from and who all these people were. So let me know what you think, if you have any specific predictions, and I hope that you guys are looking forward to the next 3 episodes. I can't believe there's only 3 left. So let me know all your thoughts below. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and that you're following me on social media. I also have a second channel, a Patreon, a merch store, and everything you could possibly need is linked down in the description box below. So take a look down there. And as always, make sure to stay safe, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye, guys.